We're going to be checking out 6 reasons American English actually makes sense. Being from the UK, this is going to be interesting to check out. So yeah, let's just straight into this, man.
Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to English. If you can understand the words that I'm saying now, that means you have at least a decent grasp of English and Lawrence speak. But one person's English, whether that be vocabulary, spelling or pronunciation, might not be the same as your English. And often, differences like this lead people to be suspicious of the other person's English. To somehow...
Do you know what I didn't realize? I actually didn't realize how different it actually is. Because I stream on Twitch. If you haven't checked it out, it's right up there. And you guys come in, and being from America, you guys would just be talking and chatting. And I find myself saying a lot like, wait, what? What does that mean? What does that mean? To like so many words I never knew.
I think, if only in a jovial manner, that their brand of English is inferior to mine. A common example of this, I have to concede, is when some of my fellow Brits like to criticise or poke fun at American English.
Right.
And I have to admit, when I was younger, I was one of those Brits. But then I went to university and...
I think at some point... we all were.
2 things happened. One,
especially during Call of Duty. Oh my God, Call of Duty back in the day. I don't know what it was. Call of Duty back in the day when I was like 10, 12 years old. It always seems to be like it was British versus American. Like if you got an American in the lobby, oh my God. But I don't even know what the reason was for. It would just be Britain versus America in the lobby, bro, just going at it.
Interacted with American students. And 2, I did a useless degree in linguistics and took a module on English varieties.
Oh my God.
That, my mind was opened.
I can't think of anything worse. I actually can't. I failed. I don't know how I failed English in school. That's actually really bad, isn't it? I did go to uni and graduate, so I did end up passing it at some point. But at school... up to the age of 16, I actually failed English. Like, wait, what? Like,
American
how do you do that?
Wasn't wrong. It was fascinating. It's a variety of English whose story has often been lost to time. Because just as there are countless fascinating histories behind the words we use in Britain, the same is also true of the United States. And so, without further ado, here are 6 reasons that American English isn't wrong.
Give me the words.
The longer that I do this channel, the more examples I discover of words or language concepts that we perceive to be American but actually originated in Britain. And on this subject, I've talked extensively about soccer and aluminum, but I think my favourite example is the word herb. To us Brits, hearing Americans drop the H on the word herb can often feel weird. But here's the thing, back in the day, we used to do it. There was a slew of words that entered the English language via Old French that incorporated a silent H. This included honour, hour, hors d'oeuvre.
Honour, hour. Oh wait, I never even thought about that. If you wasn't going to drop the H, then it'd be hour. Honour. Honour. Hour. Herb. Oh my God, wait, what?
Herb. But Brits just stopped pronouncing it herb in, I want to say, the 19th century.
You know what? I actually prefer saying herb than herb. Herb. Yo, pass me the herbs.
It was soon considered the way commoners spoken. The upper classes can't be having that. And so eventually, in Britain, it was dropped altogether, and America, on the other side of the ocean, didn't get the memo. And when it comes to this, there are actually 2 other things that make us Brits a little bit hypocritical when judging the American pronunciation of herb. Firstly, we're forever dropping H's. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but recently I've had an haircut. That's northern for haircut. And secondly, before we start
Wait. He actually says haircut? Wait, what?
Diktats on how to pronounce the letter H. Some would suggest we might want to learn how to pronounce the word H. Some, not me. I'm open to multiple interpretations. But the fact remains that in a dictionary, the word H ends in an H, but it doesn't start with one. Oh, and while we're on the subject of pronunciation, that brings us on to this. You know, in Britain, we're sometimes very quick to judge the way in which Americans pronounce words, maybe because it's so markedly different from the way we do. But this hasn't always been the case now, has it? Because as many of my subscribers have asked me over the years, Lawrence, is it true that features of American English are similar to the way in which people spoke in England in the 1600s? To some degree, yes. A good example of this is that back then, most of Britain would have pronounced the R in words like card. That linguistic phenomenon is known as rhoticity and is a large feature, of course, of American English today. In Britain, it still survives in pockets like in the southwest of England and also Scotland, but it's ceased to be a feature of British English in most other parts.
Wait, how else do you say card? Card. Card. They're not saying cad. Cad. Card.
Obviously, one of the big differences between our two forms of English is the way in which we spell words. And maybe because most of American English derive from its British equivalent, we in Britain feel almost duty-bound to voice our disapproval of how Americans spell words. But I feel like we have to be careful about that because there is in fact quite an orderly nature to a lot of American English spelling rules. You know, I used this example the other day. If you're ever confused as to why Americans use the suffix IZE as opposed to ISE, then two things, that's not always the case. Because secondly, American English likes to distinguish between words that came from Greek and have the suffix IZE and words that came from Old French that have the suffix.
You know what? This got me. This is probably why I failed English, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Because I would Google all the time, like, how to spell words because I wasn't very good at spelling. I'm still not good at spelling, right? And so many times I would put Z, thinking it was just how it's spelled because Google was telling me it. But Google was telling me the American way, bro. So I was spelling everything with a Z and not an S, man.
ISE. So in American English, for every internalize, you also have exercise. In Britain, we tend to not make this distinction. Whether the word came from Old French or Greek, it usually ends in ISE. And to me, I'm perfectly fine with this as well. Additionally, we like to be puzzled as to why Americans drop the U in words like colour and honour. But the truth is, we actually did the initial change. Because in Old French, from which words like this derive, the words colour and honour were spelled just as they are now in an American dictionary.
Oh, no way.
One charge that I often hear get levelled at American English is that it doesn't have many kind of fantastical words like Britain does. But having lived here for as long as I have, and crucially having done this channel, I've learned that America has coined some absolutely gorgeous words, some of which are used only in the United States, some of which are now archaic, and some of which actually made it to the rest of the English-speaking world. So these words include snollygoster, cattywampus, fuddy-duddy.
Bro, what's going on? What's going on?
Speaking world. So these words include snollygoster.
Snollygoster. Cattywampus. This isn't real, bro. This isn't real, bro. Fuddy-duddy.
Wang-doodle, pulchritudinous, humdinger, doohickey, valedictorian, lollapalooza, ornery, poppycock, not a British
Poppycock
word, malarkey, cahoots, discombobulate, panhandle.
Wait, we say discombobulate? We say, no, that's the only word I actually know.
Peacock, not a British word, malarkey, cahoots, discombobulate, panhandle, conniption, and highfalutin. Now, sometimes, every now and again, I'll be on Twitter, which was
There's
my
some
first
weird-ass
mistake,
words.
and someone will gain a lot of traction simply by saying, I hate the way Americans say soccer, it's football. Now, I'm not going to go over the fact again that the word soccer was in fact coined in Britain. Instead, I'm going to highlight the fact that many people just seem to forget, and that is that soccer isn't unique to American English. The word is used in Canada, South Africa, Australia, Ireland, and occasionally England. Between you and me?
Yeah. I've heard of Soccer AM. I'm not that big on football, right? Like, I don't mind it, but I'm not like a football guy that, you know, football this, football that, football this, right? So I don't care what you call it. It does make sense to be called football. I think you Americans would agree, right? Like, I'm just thinking of it as a non-biased point of view. Your guys' American football is with the hands, but football is football, right? So it makes sense to call soccer football, you know what I mean? But then, it don't really matter too much, right? And plus, it is funny that we have a program in the UK called Soccer AM. So if any British person is getting mad that you call it soccer, just say, bro, you literally call it soccer in your own country on the TV program. And that should shut them up.
It's time we stop caring about this, especially since us Brits have been using American English all our lives. You see, the thing is, the English language has a plethora of words that were coined in the United States. Sadly, plethora wasn't one of them. In addition to the hundreds, if not thousands, of technological words that the country has given us. It's also added gimmick, hangover,
Okay.
hassle,
Okay.
fudge,
Yep.
hindsight, lengthy, belittle, okay, and hello, to name a few. Language is
Okay and hello. What was we saying before hello then?
ever evolving, and whether we're talking about British, American, Australian, Canadian, or New Zealand English, so long as we understand each other, that's all that matters.
True, we have got some good words from Australia, I can't lie. Crikey, mate. Crikey.
Could you understand me throughout that? Right, well, we'll do some retakes. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the
That was very
comments
cool, to
below
be fair.
if this video was useful for you.
That was
I'm
a
Lawrence
fun video.
Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePondUS. And
You guys gotta let me know in the comments some funky words that you say a lot in America that you probably think I won't know. And I'll see if I know them or not, see what they mean. That'll be really interesting in the comment section. But good video, enjoy that. Hopefully you guys did as well. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG if you guys want to check me out over there. I've also started posting on my other channel, which will be in the description. It's L3WG. I'll just call it other channel in the description or something. I'm posting like try not to laugh on there. So if you're interested in them, you can check them out. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.